Talk that. An RPG I think you guys should have on your radar. Talked about it a little while ago, but Redemption Reapers is officially dropping on February 22nd. I'll give you guys a heads up on that game. We got a price point as well, so more on that in a little bit. And Wild Hearts has gotten a brand new trailer. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But some news that's really making the rounds right now. Obviously, Dead Space in the news cycle. It drops tomorrow officially, but right now, the official Dead Space Twitter account does have some information about the game, noting, yes, Dead Space will have a new game plus at launch, and that includes level 6 advanced suit, new Phantom variant necromorphs, and a secret ending. So that is going to be something that I think is going to be speculated on quite a bit as we head into tomorrow. I'm sure when tomorrow comes, there's going to be a bunch of videos of the ending already uploaded, etc., etc. But nonetheless, super excited for this game, also because the reviews did drop today, and they are looking absolutely stellar. I know IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, and I believe on OpenCritic, it's sitting at an 88, which super respectable score. Seems most people are saying it's a really well done remake, and I'm excited to check it out for myself. But the fact it's going to have New Game Plus, and you know, they do have some added elements within your New Game Plus playthrough that'll hopefully add a layer of replayability that'll justify you dropping your hard-earned $70 on the game as well, which when I talk about this game, that seems to be the biggest point of contention for people on whether or not they're going to want to drop $70 on this game. A lot of you guys dropped $70 on the Callisto Protocol, so if you're a massive survival horror game fan, I think Dead Space Remake is going to be something a lot of people do pick up. I know that was kind of like the back and forth that was going on for a little while. Oh, Dead Space Remake versus the Callisto. You know, it seems like Dead Space Remake, from a critical reception standpoint, is the stronger received game, but I think, you know, most people knew what to expect out of the Dead Space Remake. Motive's a pretty talented studio, so I was assuming that they were going to do a fairly good job on it, and yes, they in fact have, so that is pretty exciting to hear about. And New Game Plus, secret ending, some new content in your New Game Plus playthrough. Super excited for that and can't wait to pick it up tomorrow. Although, you know, some of you guys may have crazy backlogs as it is, and I know a lot of you guys did skip out on Forspoken for now, which, you know, obviously the reviews for that were a little bit more mixed. There were things about that game, and Square Enix hooked me up with a copy of the game, and I plan on talking about it more in a future video, and there were things that I definitely liked about the game, but yeah, definitely not worth $70 in my opinion, but we'll talk that later. Dead Space Remake, on the other hand, from the critical review standpoint, seems to be incredibly well received, and yeah, probably about what most people were expecting on that. Alright, RPG talk. Strategy RPG Redemption Reapers will launch digitally for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam on February the 22nd for $49.99. On top of that, a physical edition is due out in late April. The game will feature English and Japanese voiceover options, and as far as the gameplay and style goes, looks like an incredibly dark, thematic game. Like, the themes in the game look incredibly dark, and it looks like a game that, was going to tell a more mature story, and it notes, backed by a formidable battalion of AAA industry veterans, Redemption Reapers is an original story created by director Hiroyuki Kobayashi, producer of Endless Lilies, Quietus of the Night, with gameplay balance design courtesy of tactical RPG veteran Masayuki Horikawa, series director of Fire Emblem, planning on Kingdom Hearts 3, Tomokazu of Fukushima scenario for Metal Gear Solid, and Freedom Wars. What a throwback that is. By the way, we gotta get a port on Freedom Wars on some platform. I absolutely love that game. It's one of those games on the PS Vita that was like a later PS Vita title, but one of the final games that I truly enjoyed, and it was like a brand new IP designed for the Vita. Most of you guys probably have no idea what the game is, but it was a really well done game. And then Ray Kondo as well, music of the Bayonetta series and Fire Emblem series. You also have an all-star voice cast as well. This is a tactical strategy RPG, so I know not everybody is super into that, but I think the gameplay looks pretty well done, and I'm more interested in the atmosphere and the narrative of the game. The game notes, precisely plan the brigade's every move through war-torn villages, castles, and snowfields to flank the ruthless Mord with perfect positioning, deploy each warrior according to their strengths and abilities, mastering range, melee, and stealth tactics, unleash special abilities to give the Ashen Hawk Brigade an edge during battle, sacrifice maximum damage for stick and move mobility with special skills such as the Butterfly, Sting, and knock enemies off balance with attacks thrown in the staggering stance. Upgrade and outfit the brigade with weapons and items earned after victories, and forge relationships between team members through the bond of battle. Unravel the personal stories of each Ashen Hawk member and make in-game dialogue choices impacting the relationship between fellow warriors. A brand new trailer has recently dropped for the game as well. $50 is pricey, and I get it. February is gonna slaughter people's wallets. Like, let's not mince words about it. Like, February is a loaded month of game releases, and that seems to be the case with every February every year. I just look at 2022. I get these years all mixed up now. 2022 with Elden Ring and Horizon in the same month, and Dying Light 2. Next month, you've got Hogwarts Legacy, you've got Atomic Heart, Wild Heart, Redemption Reapers, a lower key title, but then you've got stuff like Tales of Symphonia Remastered. You've got PSVR 2, which, by the way, is going to be a sizable chunk of change if you are picking that up. So, yeah, take that for what you will, but nonetheless, have it on your radar. If you're not going to pick it up right away, wishlist it, and it'll see a discount, I would say, probably by the summertime. So, have an eye out on that. And lastly, do want to note another game dropping in February. As I just mentioned, Wild Hearts, another $70 title. Publisher Electronic Arts and Tecmo Koei studio Omega Force have released a brand new gameplay trailer for Wild Hearts, showcasing the Golden Tempest hunt. The Golden Tempest is a giant nature-infused tiger that wields golden wind to protect its territory. As it roars, leaps, and whips its tail all around the hunting ground, hunters can use the game's innovative Karakuri crafting technology to adapt their battle plan and attack strategies to successfully defend Azuma. Wild Hearts is, of course, coming out on next-generation platforms exclusively February the 17th, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, through Steam and the Epic Game Store. This is a game that it's going to be really interesting to see how this game does. I feel like Hogwarts Legacy is going to crush it. Atomic Heart, I think, is going to do relatively well. Wild Hearts is the one that I am curious about, just because we just had Monster Hunter Rise drop on next-gen platforms, or actually current-gen platforms as well. I guess I gotta stop saying next-gen. Some of you guys call me out on that, given well, we're what, 2.5 years almost into this generation, and I'm still calling it next-gen? That's gonna take a little while for me to completely break. It's coming out on current-gen platforms, how about that? And, you know, obviously a lot of people are drawing comparisons to Monster Hunter, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, and Wild Hearts does seem to have its own gameplay style that I think people are going to end up enjoying. Omega Force, relatively talented studio, and interesting that they are working together with EA, and hopefully it is going to lead to a quality AAA monster hunting style experience. So we'll see how this one turns out. Again, dropping February 17th. So bear in mind, it is going to be Hogwarts Legacy on February 10th, a 72-hour early access if you buy the deluxe edition on February 7th. You have a little bit of a reprieve then until Wild Hearts drops on February 17th, and then you'll get Atomic Heart, and then you'll get stuff like Redemption Reapers, Tales of Symphonia, and obviously PSVR 2. That's a pretty notable release, but, you know, a lot of people aren't picking that up as far as being priced out of it more so than anything. But that'll do it for me. Again, Dead Space Remake, a lot of information coming out on that. Some very, very exciting reviews. If you take reviews super seriously, it's getting really well reviewed, and I think most of us were expecting that, given it is a remake of a classic. Redemption Reapers dropping on February 22nd, a darker strategy RPG I think you should have your eyes